All right, everybody, welcome back to Championship Court. Michelle McMahon and Adam Stone here with you. The St. Louis Shock taking on the LA Mad Drops, the Season 1 champs, the Super Final champs from the Premier level, now flipping to Challenger as we introduce you to the matchup. Brooke Buckner and Olivia McMillan will suit up first for the LA Mad Drops in the green skirts and blue tops. On the other side of this matchup, it's Judith Castillo and Jeannie Iroquina. Here's how the numbers shake out team-wise. Win probability slightly in favor of the LA Mad Drops. Zubin Mehta, one of the owners and the GMs of this team, as is Drew Brees and several others.
Here we go, player.
Meanwhile, the St. Louis Shock.
I gotta throw out the cheesy line here, Michelle.
Yes.
3 versus 2.
Okay.
3 versus 2. We have a pregnant lady on the court, Brooke
That's
Buckner.
right.
Let's go.
That's right. 8 months pregnant, Brooke Buckner, the former University of Michigan standout on the tennis team. Her partner played college tennis as well. The College of Charleston. Game on.
Point.
Wide for McMillan, the lefty. Forehands in the middle. On the side of the Mad Drops, Jeannie Iroquina will take back the first serve for her. Judith Castillo swinging away.
Yeah, nice pressure over there from the Shock. And Judith Castillo, we all know, a big asset and a dream breaker. Can she step up her doubles game early on? It looks like the answer is yes.
Set out, point 1. Oh, you called it out? Okay. Point.
Okay, so we have a delayed call on the sideline from the forehand from McMillan, and it looks like the Mad Drops are not going to challenge. So here we go.
Point.
Couple uncharacteristic loose airs there from Olivia McMillan, a very consistent defensive-minded player. She's been around for a while,
4-0.
and she is often a rock out there. And you can see those big loopy third shots with a lot of spin. Already created 2 errors from the Mad Drops.
5-0.
Nice early third shots from Judith Castillo.
Just wide for Castillo. A nice little run early for the Shock, up 5-1.
1-5. Point.
And as I mentioned, Olivia McMillan really solid in the midcourt, just forcing her opponents to hit one more ball.
2-5.
McMillan picks up the pace. Gets another point on their side.
That was a really nice job of her sneaking in. I think that Judith thought she was just going to post up in the midcourt and look to move forward after the next ball. Good offensive forward movement from McMillan.
Side out, point 6.
That's always a tough break. And some earlier in that point, I know they got the let cord winner, but some slight confusion on the middle ball with the Judith Castillo backhand and Iroquina forehand. Make sure they get that ironed out.
Point.
Into the net goes McMillan. The Shock off to a 7-3 lead.
Yeah, and definitely looking to target Olivia McMillan early,
7-3.
not only from the back of the court, but at the kitchen.
Oh, Iroquina had exactly what she wanted.
Yeah, she had that higher forehand, and in theory, I like hitting down on that ball at the feet of your opponents, but can't go into the net, and unfortunately for Iroquina, she caught it.
4-7.
Brooke Buckner with the forehand roll down the middle.
Just, you know, just a casual 8-month pregnant lady just exploding to the middle with a big forehand winner. Let's go, Buckner.
Your lovely wife, Corinne Carr, paving the way for a lot of these new moms. Played last MLP with a very pregnant belly.
Yeah, nice segue there, partner. And a funny story is Brooke Buckner contacted Corinne to ask what belly support that she should use to strap. So it's, you know, it's just pregnant ladies sticking together. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Very inspirational. Patient point for the shock.
Yeah, nice job of clearing her body and stepping to her left from Judith Castillo. I thought the initial speed up from Buckner was very good. Nice counter from her.
Fault called on Buckner.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a foot or the paddle actually that touched. I heard something.
10-5.
What a rip from Arikina down the middle.
Yeah, she has some very deceptive shots. She has a lot of length, as you can see, so very hard to read what she's doing. And as you mentioned, a very nice offensive forward movement to put that ball up the middle.
Yeah, Arikina came onto the scene in season 1, subbed in for Heather Nobler for the Arizona Drive, and then was picked up in the draft from the Ranchers in the end of season 1 in the shuffle draft. And change is what we are experiencing now. The St. Louis Shock, the first team, 2-11, and the LA Mad Drops trailing early by 6. What would your advice be?
Yeah, so we had some, I think the best part for the Shock has been the third shots have been very on point for them in the first half of the match. We had a couple loose errors from Olivia McMillan early in that first half. She cleaned it up towards the end, and they just have to figure out who is going to take more court when they're at the kitchen line. We have the lefty McMillan, the righty Buckner. Got to get that middle figured out and see who's going to step over and be offensive for that team.
What a grab. Good rip from McMillan.
Yeah, there was, Castillo thought she had a window in the middle, and the big lefty forehand of Olivia McMillan closes that gap.
Side out, point 12.
Slight miss hit on the third shot drive.
12-6. Point.
That's tough break. That's a good look. The first forehand from Buckner, really crisp, catching the tape with the second one. I like it, though.
13-6. Side out, point 7.
Tink error there from Judith Castillo, but still, the Shock getting to the kitchen almost every time. Coming into the match, I would have said that that was a weakness for them, and they have proved me very much wrong so far.
Ooh, robbed by the net was Brooke Buckner. What a point.
Yeah, really, really solid stuff. Not a lot for any of the ladies to work with. Just got to stay patient, and they did. Unfortunately, Buckner catching the tape with that last middle dink attempt.
Unit Castillo will serve. No, tough one. Once again, Irakina's gotten a couple of those this match.
Yeah, it's so tough, too, especially with Olivia McMillan a couple feet off the kitchen line. Just no chance for her to get that ball. And, you know, I said it rains, it pours in that previous match, and the Shocker playing well and catching some breaks.
15-7.
Man, Unit Castillo, she's so solid.
Yeah, absolutely. Good eye there on the last ball after a short firefight from the ladies. Nice job from Buckner getting a little more involved that last point.
8-15.
McMillan finds the middle. Advantage to the lefty.
Really good shot, and especially to split the defense. That inside-out forehand Ernie, that is a very high degree of difficulty and executed to perfection.
McMillan speeds it up down the line.
Exactly right. I think Irakina thought that ball was going to bounce in front of McMillan. She lunges forward and creates the offense.
McMillan again tags Irakina down the line.
Yeah, the ladies really, there hasn't been a ton to work with at the kitchen line. The dinks have been pretty clean and crisp and unattackable. So picking your spots and you know, just having that shot selection at the right time is really the key right now.
McMillan has turned up her game.
That's right, mixing it up. She heard me talk about her being a defensive specialist. She says, I got a little offense in my paddle too. So really nice comeback here for the Mad Drops, who I believe are down 15-7. So a really great comeback. And I think that it's been a nice job of Olivia McMillan getting herself worked into the point so that she could get an offensive opportunity. And in the first half of this game, she was unable to do that. So nice job for her stepping it up.
As for the St. Louis Shock, got out to that 15-7 lead, as you mentioned. What do they need to get back to?
Yeah, so really what it was, and I talked about them with their third shots getting to the kitchen, and they are still doing that. They have got to find a way to be a little more offensive at the kitchen line. And I don't blame them, because early in the match they were just getting free airs. But now that their opponents have cleaned up their game, they're going to have to find a way to put a little bit more pressure on. And I would expect most of that pressure to come from Jeannie Irakina. Use that length at the kitchen line, reach in there, create some havoc, and see what happens.
McMillan lights up Irakina again. She's struggled with that matchup lately.
Yeah, that's right, and it's such a contrast to the women's match we saw earlier where they were going for really aggressive dinks and making more errors. This is more controlled, consistent dinks from the ladies. Great to see the variety. Nice job pushing Irakina just off the kitchen line.
14-15.
Irakina using that length, as you mentioned.
Yeah, and it's a tough break because I do think that ball was going to go out. Brooke Buckner just couldn't get out of the way. Always tough in the mid-court, awkward court positioning.
Irakina strikes again. McMillan there for the answer.
That's right, and I do not mind what Irakina just did. I just think she hesitated for a second. So she has got to trust that offense in the middle.
McMillan snaps it down the middle. Tie game, 16-all.
Very nice job with the lefty forehand, keeping it low with spin. These shots are not very far over the net, so it's a high risk, high reward, and it's all reward right now for Olivia McMillan.
16-16.
I can't describe to you, Michelle, because this has happened to me a lot in my career. When you are getting targeted, to step up to the task is such a great feeling, and that, I know this match is not over, but that's what Olivia McMillan is doing right now.
Wow, McMillan again.
That's right, and we saw a slight adjustment from the Shock as 3 or 4 dinks in a row over to Brooke Buckner, but once again, the offense from the drops, and Brooke Buckner able to tag Judith Castillo with that last backhand.
The power of playing for 2. Big sign out and a point for the Shock.
Really nice pressure, not allowing the drops to get forward. They needed that one very badly. Way to step up.
Tough time to miss late in the game. The LA Mad Drops take back a 2-point lead.
19-17.
Irakina taking care of the pop-up chance.
Yeah, definitely a lower attack than a couple of the previous ones, and that allowed Irakina to hit down.
just back for McMillan, and the shock tie it back up, 19 apiece.
Yeah, that was a much more solid initial attack, and she had what she wanted on the backhand side.
Castillo all over the pop-up, and it's game point for the shock.
Take a little time out. I think it's the right time. And yes, Judith Castillo, a little tricky inside-out forehand from Olivia McMillan, but Castillo was right there with the counter attack. Yeah, this is a good one. It looked like it might be a slight runaway early on, and the Madras have come storming back. But St. Louis holding on and are now rewarded with the match point.
And so all the pressure on the LA Mad Drops. No more freeze in case you're just joining the broadcast. So you still must win on your serve, but the rally scoring can continue all the way up until it's a win by 2 situation and you win on your serve. That is the only nuance. What do you think about removing the freeze at 18 and 20?
I like it. Let's look for some big numbers today. Give me a 32-30. Why not?
Hey.
You know, let's. The fans want pickle. We want pickle. Let's go. Let's get a big number on the board. No, but I do like it. I think it's good. Now, I know they've MLP. They've tinkered and they really listened to the players and the fans, and so I think they're going to get it right. And I like this format right now.
2019.
All the pressure on the Mad Drops, and they answer.
Really nice job. The old set it up, clean it up with Brooke Buckner initiating and Olivia McMillan finishing.
McMillan all over the middle ball. That's a crucial point now. Game point on the side of the Mad Drops.
That's nice having 2 forehands in the middle. Great cover from Olivia.
20.
The error, and we continue with a tie game.
Oh, and it was a firefight for the match. Great job from Irokina stabbing a couple of those shots from McMillan.
Game point.
Yeah, such a great spot for Irokina. McMillan has really been sitting heavy on that forehand side, so to find the right foot when McMillan is sitting heavy forehand is a great spot from Jeannie. I think Buckner was calling out before Jeannie even hit the ball, knowing that it was going to be tough to be offensive from that low position.
She had the angle too.
I know. I think that's my favorite one of the early day. Tough break from the drop. Such a good point.
Game point for St. Louis. A chance to finish it here. Into the net goes Irakina, and you might just get what you asked for, Adam.
I know.
You asked for
right.
32-30. Well, that's where we're headed so far. 23 all. Rally scoring. You must win on your serve and win by 2. No more freeze. Makes things a little more interesting here. Oh, what a get. Olivia McMillan saves the point, finishes, and game point. Now for the mat drops.
I mean, you sometimes you get these great points in the heart of the match when it's a lopsided affair. We are in the tightest moments of this match, and they're playing the best points. I love to see it.
What a battle.
24-23.
She just throws her head back. Just incredible points, and then missing a third.
24 all.
24-24.
Just wide for St. Louis. LA with another game point. Can they finish it here?
25-24.
It's just so good from Irakina. Buckner did everything right.
Almost had it.
She made the read. She hit the shot. You just got to tip your cap to Irakina for able to get that ball back.
Wow. Oh, ball was just barely wide. McMillan and Buckner looking to maybe challenge.
McMillan did not react whatsoever. I believe that she knows that she missed it, but we'll see. Yeah, it looks like they're not going to try.
26-25.
Just wide, and the St. Louis Shock take game 1 on the miss of the mat drops. What a game.
Hey, like I said early in the day, but that's the match of the day so far. Well played, ladies, some really good stuff. And as I mentioned before, best points of the match were in the biggest spots. Just good stuff.
What a game.
Good stuff indeed. That one could have gone either way. So now we move on to the men's doubles as Gabe Tardio and Jordan Kinney take the stage and all the pressure on the mat drops. Rob Nunnery and his partner will square off against the mat drops. Martin Emmerich is his partner for the St. Louis Shock. The atmosphere is only getting better from here in Atlanta as we check in now with Cameron Blackwood standing by with Judith Castillo and Jeannie Irakina hanging on for the win in game 1.
Thanks, Mish. What a battle that was. No more freeze, battling out to the end, 27-25. What were the key shots you were looking to execute to make sure you guys won this matchup?
To be honest, being consistent with our shots, you know, we knew that if we rushed the game, like they were gonna be ready and beat us. So we just tried to stay patient and be willing to dink 20, 30 balls, for sure.
Looking way more comfortable and relaxed out here. We talked about the nerves in season 1, but what has been the biggest factor to making sure that you come in calm and collective here in season 2?
Just the time on the court, obviously, and just amazing partners, amazing team owners. So that's the key.
St. Louis shot go up 1-0. We're going to come right back with men's doubles. Don't go anywhere.
Patrick, Jake from State Farm, explain this bundling thing again.
All right, Coach Reed. Let's say these fries are your car, right?
And this burger is your home.
Okay.
It can be more affordable if you bundle them together.
Kind of like a combo meal.
Kind of like a combo meal.
Explain it again with those nuggies.
Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Innovation is our specialty. Winning is his. Zane Navratil has won more than 40 Pro Gold medals and back-to-back Major League Pickleball titles. One of pickleball's most iconic and decorated athletes teamed up with our world-class engineers with one goal in mind: build a paddle that can dominate. The Zane Navratil Signature Paddle, designed for champions by champions. Available now. ProXR Pickleball. Innovation you can handle.
Dulce, Vida, Tequila. Tequila, pure and simple.
We're back on championship court. Time now for some men's doubles as we welcome you back inside the booth. Michelle McMahon and Adam Stone bringing you the action. It is Jordan Kinney and Gabe Tardio squaring off against Rob Nunnery and Martin Emmerich. A couple of lesser-known entities in Jordan Kinney, who was originally out of Wisconsin, grew up a multi-sport athlete, swimming, basketball, soccer, swam collegiately at St. Cloud State University. And we know a lot about Rob Nunnery and Gabe Tardio, two of the steals of the draft in Challenger. Martin Emmerich, a former tennis pro, originally out of Germany. So what do you expect matchup-wise in this one, Adam?
Yeah, this should be a really good one. And you said it, Tardio and Nunnery would possibly be considered the top two premier snubs, if you will. So I expect them to play big. And the lesser-known commodities, Jordan Kinney, more of a part-time player, but he's got a sky-high DUPR. He's got some really nice wins under his belt. And, of course, Martin Emmerich, who really favors his backhand and some very heavy hands. That ball pops off his paddle with a lot of thump.
St. Louis with the one-game edge. First serve underway in game two.
And an early soft error from Jordan Kinney, and I'm excited to see him. I have not seen a lot of his play, so let's see what he has in store for us. Well, backhand rolls on point, right, Michelle? There we go.
Gabe Tardio, clean overhead finish.
1-1.
He's taken his game to another level this season. Jordan Kinney goes hands battle with Rob Nunnery all over the chance.
Yeah, one of the strengths of Rob Nunnery's game is that hand speed and that counterattack ability.
2-1.
I'm interested to see Gabe on the right. So I think that is probably the comfort level of Kinney being on the left, because Gabe Tardio is an offensive force from the left side.
Sneaky little ATP set up the hands battle for St. Louis.
One of the best at that as well. He gets around the ball, so he not only gets top spin, he gets side spin and brings that ball back into the court. Well done from the shock. Yeah, so we'll have to see what the drops go with. So clearly Kenny is going to get targeted. Gabe Tardio is a stalwart out here on the tour playing all the time. So they have got to figure out a way. Where is Kenny the most comfortable? And I believe that's why he's on the left. Let's see if they possibly make a change later in this match.
Keep it on him. He can't handle it. 6-1.
Strong fan base for Rob Nunnery here in Atlanta. Originally from Georgia.
I believe it's Conyers, Georgia, which is right outside of Atlanta, if I remember correctly. And St. Louis Shock just firing on all cylinders, well-timed aggression, and not missing any soft stuff early.
Yeah. Keep it on him. He can't handle it.
4-5 now for Jordan Kenny. Gotta find a way to get into a rhythm.
8-1. Point 2.
Nice power on that return from Gabe Tardio. Ball getting into Rob Nunnery's body quicker than he was expecting. Yeah, so I mean, that's not like a no-no. You got to find a way, though. You got to put it in play. It's not that was too low to attack. Just got to force your opponents to hit a shot. There it is. Yeah, and it could be anything that gets him going. You know, it could be an overhead slam. It could be 10 dinks in a row that he makes. Whatever it is, you got to get that going.
There's Gabe Tardio looking to get in the mix.
There you go. Maybe a really, really good drop, and your partner steps over and has a nice poach like Tardio did there. See if the drops can find some momentum.
High third from Kenny, punished by Martin Emmerich. 1 point away from an end change for St. Louis.
10-4.
Nice counter attack from Rob Nunnery. An 11-4 scoreline now for the St. Louis Shock, and appears that Emmerich and Nunnery are feasting on their side.
Yeah, they're not going to do anything differently, and I always talk a bit about this from a strategic perspective. A lot of times there is something specific. Hey, let's get in this pattern. Let's target this player. But these guys and these coaches and these teams, they have some really good strategy going into the game. So often there is nothing that you change. It's just playing cleaner. So lots of times for strategy, and lots of times just to kind of let it settle in and figure it out what you're already doing and do that better.
Here's a good look at Martin Emmerich. He began playing pickleball in October of 2022, not too long ago, with his wife, Tamarin, and neighbor, Tina Pisnik, who's made a name for herself here in the landscape of pickleball. Says he loves playing in front of a big crowd. Well, hey, MLP is a great fit for that. Former tennis pro as well. And the fans are here early, supporting the challenger level group play. This is Group C. Top two teams will advance through the knockout rounds in each group. Down the middle finish for Kenny. He's got to find his game, as you mentioned.
Yeah,
it's tough.
That was a beautiful spot there. As I mentioned, that Emmerich likes to sit on that backhand counter. Kenny found the middle of the court nicely. Yeah, too much on the slice dink. And I mean, I don't expect the St. Louis Shock to do anything special whatsoever. Continue to play soft and controlled until the drops figure it out.
That's a good response from Jordan Kinney.
Yeah, and I know that counterattacking is one of the best parts of his game. He just hasn't been able to get into a rhythm enough to get that opportunity. But we see it right there that he has that ball.
There's the hands of Gabe Tardio. That's a nice speed up from Rob Nunnery.
Yeah, he holds the paddle as long as anyone out there. Very deceptive. Tardio right on that ball, though. He's seen it before a couple times. That helps.
Jordan Kinney gets out of the way, and a nice little comeback here for the Mad Drops. Pull within 4. Can they keep it going?
That backhand slice dink, and we saw Kinney there go to the shadow swing. I always talk about that. These players go to the shadow swing. They are not comfortable with their technique and their form, trying to get it figured out.
Oh, Martin Emmerich wanted the Ernie.
Like I always say, Michelle, you can't Ernie Downey soft, and that's exactly what we saw there. Downey soft dink from Jordan Kinney. Even the athleticism of Emmerich couldn't come up with that ball.
That reset taken care of by Emmerich.
A really nice lefty forehand there. Just a combination of pace and spin. Really good from Martin Emmerich. That's good partner communication there. I mentioned earlier that court positioning in the midcourt is awkward. So when you have your partner in your ear letting you know that's going to sail along, it really helps you pull the paddle back.
St. Louis with a 15-9 lead. Jordan Kinney and Gabe Tardio trying to sort things out on their side. So if you're the player that's not getting as many of the balls as is Gabe Tardio when Jordan Kinney's the one being targeted, how do you get yourself more involved?
Right, Michelle, and the issue is he's on the right.
So why not put him on the left?
There you go. It's much more difficult to get involved on the right than it is on the left when your forehand is in the middle. So, what do we have here? What's happening? They seem to be slightly lined up in the switch position.
You're a genius.
I don't know about that. Oh, there
Rob,
we go. There
second to
it
Nunnery.
is. Second to Nunnery. I love it.
And what is the rest of that song?
And we'll shock you.
And we'll shock you.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Perfect. And this is better just because Tardio can just really squeeze that middle and just kind of force the shock to hit into a smaller window. When Tardio's on the right, they just feel like they have free reign to get that ball to Kinney.
Gabe Tardio, the second overall pick in the Challenger level draft. Rob Nunnery, the top pick. And there he is.
There he is, 80% of the court over on the left foot of Kinney, taking 3 very nice forehands. Go get him, Gabe.
And another point for the Mad Drops. This could be the change they needed.
That's right. They have freedom. They're in a big hole. They can play their game. They can be loose. The Shock pull back and are a little bit tighter with that big lead. That's just how it works.
There's Gabe Tardio again, attacking the body of Emmerich. And now a 3-point game with one little switch.
12-15.
Martin Emmerich all over it that time.
Yeah, really nice mid-pace setup from Rob Nunnery. Kenny kind of went with a half-hearted counterattack as opposed to softening that ball, and it cost him.
Rob Nunnery set up that point beautifully.
Yeah, he did. That almost went in between Gabe's legs as he was looking for the Ernie in the corner.
17-12.
Jordan Kinney on the response. Tardio finishes.
Yep, and I think for the most part, you have to pick your spots, but for the most part, staying soft to Kinney, I think, is going to be the best. When he just gets to react with a counterattack, I think that plays into his game. Yeah, once again, ball too low, in my opinion. And he was going to play the middle there. Gabe Tardio would have been there for the response. Keep it patient for the shock. Nice job by Emmerich, keeping some pressure. He got really tight to the kitchen line after that return. Nice lean in there from Kenny.
What an Ernie from Gabe Tardio.
El Bandito. He is on it, which I think is the Bandit, I believe.
I believe you're right. I don't speak Spanish. Maybe we can call him J.W. Johnson for that one.
Yeah, right.
17 years old, Gabe Tardio.
Tough break on the very high third shot. Rob Nunnery kind of pancaking that overhead right down at his opponent's feet.
St. Louis Shock 2 points away. Good pressure from Jordan Kinney.
Yeah, they stayed on it at the kitchen line, and Shock just couldn't get forward, even though they had a couple quality digs early in that point.
17-19.
What a hit from Gabe Tardio.
It's disgusting. I mean, that is from a low position with the two-hander to two great counterattackers, and he parts the Red Sea right up the middle. So good, Gabe.
Oh. Chance to tie it instead. Game point swings over to St. Louis.
Yeah, Kenny's got to post up over there. He was squeezing the middle, and he's got to know that Gabe Tardio's there for him. Can't get spread out wide to his right in this particular lineup.
And the bad drops hang on to stay alive, trailing by one.
Kenny, he hits the baseline and then clips the tape. It's a game of inches.
Gabe Tardio cleaning up, and we have a tie game.
My goodness. Little shimmy shoulder fake there from Gabe Tardio. Freezes his opponent, and then the set it up from Kitty. Clean it up from Tardio. Let's go.
And Gabe Tardio gets called for the foot fault on a gutsy Ernie.
Oh, and I think it might have gone wide, too. Unbelievable.
Oh, no.
That was the foot fault call.
You're right. That ball looked like it was going wide. Might as well challenge. Scoreline would read 21-20 on the other side.
So we got a quick view of that replay, and I don't believe it was the takeoff. It was the landing with the left foot. Here we go again.
Oh, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, no, I think the heel, the heel, I think, tapped. The toe lands, and then when he puts pressure on that right foot, the heel touches.
Man. And if that ball lands wide, what a different looking storyline we would have here.
I mean, he's flying in the air, jumping the corner of the kitchen. So hard to read that ball that's going to go 3 or 4 inches wide. You can't blame him at all for hitting it. Just a tough situation.
Athletic play, though, from the young Gabe Tardio. Lots of St. Louis Shock fans in the house awaiting their fate and hoping for a game point on their side. You must win on your serve.
Oh, look at this.
That's a big one.
Yes, truck, so good. What a view. So I was wrong. I thought the toe landed and then the heel touched. The heel lands first.
Yep, that's as obvious a call as it gets. Credit to our great referee crew here on site. Let's get the official verdict.
After we're ready to review, we call on the court stance or we solid football. We're reviewing play at 49-20 St. Louis.
And it's just, from that to match point for St. Louis, man, things change so quickly.
Could have been game point on their side for St. Louis, or excuse me, for LA. Game point now for the Shock. Oh, what defense from Rob Nunnery. They were in trouble, the St. Louis Shock. They hang on, finish it out 22-20.
Yeah, and I know that it's tough to come all the way back and then lose, but that really is going to help their momentum for the mixed doubles. If they just would have got steamrolled 21-8, 21-9, that would have been really tough to transition over to mixed doubles. So a nice job by Tardio and Kenny getting back into it, just too big of a hole early on.
So the St. Louis Shock on top 2-0 for LA, but don't be so much in a hurry. We saw match number 1 go the distance to a dream breaker at this exact score line. It all comes down to mixed doubles. St. Louis could clean it up in 3 if they win mixed doubles game number 1, as we check in now with Cameron Blackwood, who is with Rob Nunnery and Martin Emmerich.
Thanks, Mish. You guys had the lead all the way up until the end. They decided to make a switch, put Gabe on the left side, started to create a lot of problems. What, in return, adjustments did you have to make to take the win?
Just let Rob take over. Obviously, it was shaking all of a sudden. We were not so clear with our patterns. Luckily, we adjusted, and I'm happy Gabe has shoe size 15 to make that foot fault.
There's a lot of communication going on between you guys the entire match long. What about this partnership is working so well right now?
I mean, Martin's such a good player, and he's improving so fast, and great positive energy. So he's so fun to play with, and he fights to the last ball. So, yeah, just a pleasure to be playing with Martin, and for the Shock, it's been awesome so far.
Shock go up 2-0. We're going to head into mixed doubles right after this. Don't go anywhere.
I just didn't want to look like everybody else. It just didn't suit who I was. It didn't fit my persona. It didn't fit my image. I rep the stuff because I love it. I rep because it's quality, and I like the fact that I look a little fly. It's been huge because it identifies me. I feel like I stand out. People reference me to the shirts all the time. They know me as the guy who wears the flashy shirts, and I'm cool with that.
My first surgery was a total knee replacement. I ended up with an infection. They were gonna have to amputate my leg. That just was not okay with me. The moment I entered HSS, the care was exceptional. For somebody to tell me you're gonna keep your leg, it was magical. Everything is so alive because I got my life back.
The all-new Prius. Toyota. Let's go places.
And I said, Saturday? No one's here. Right? Are you getting this? So if he wants the invoice...
Water doesn't have to be boring. Turn it up with Cirkul. With over 40 delicious flavors and a dial that controls your intensity, Cirkul starts a party for your taste buds. No sugar, no calories, and no artificial flavors. Just good times. Cirkul. It's your water, your way. Try Cirkul at drinkcirkul.com.
My job.
Back on championship court, it all comes down to mixed doubles, a 2-0 lead for the St. Louis Shock. So, reminder, the coin toss, the Shock won it, so they chose to react, and the disadvantage to the LA Mad Drops, who had to play their hand first, but it was almost like they were going to put this duo out no matter what, because you have to put your best foot forward in Game 3, down 2 games. So Brooke Buckner will suit up with Gabe Tardio in this matchup.
Yeah, this is definitely the Mad Drops A team. And as you mentioned, they cannot be the anchor because they might not make it to that point. So being with the 2-0 deficit, but we just saw it. Just saw a 2-0 deficit get flipped and that team come back in the previous match. So anything can happen, and Mad Drops very much still in this thing.
Brooke Buckner, 8 months pregnant, still playing professional pickleball. Adam Stone knows a thing about that. His wife, Corinne Carr, played very pregnant for the Brooklyn Aces last season. Started the season anyway. And what a journey. LA Mad Drops have all the pressure on their side. Martin Emmerich and Judith Castillo on the other side.
Well, if you're going to be pregnant and possibly have your movement a little limited, why not have a 6'2" teenager as a partner to help take most of that court? And she has that luxury right here with Gabe Tardio.
Yeah, Tardio, a former top 10 under 14 tennis player in Bolivia. Oh, he gets there.
Yeah, I thought he had no shot. I swear he's an inch taller every time I see him.
1-1.
Oh, Tardio was there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just, somewhere in the middle on that pool for Emmerich. I mean, when your opponent is slapping that forehand, it's probably not a sustainable strategy, but it certainly worked at that time.
Gabe Tardio. It's a quick sign out and a point.
Yeah, we'll have to see where Tardio comes up with his offense, having Martin Emmerich right in front of him, the left-hander. If he chooses to attack Judith more, or maybe find some spots to attack the male in front of him. Nice sharp cross-court dink from Castillo. catching Gabe Tardio leaking to the middle a little too much.
3-2.
Nice pressure from the drop. Pretty good scramble from St. Louis.
3-3.
Nice job catching Udit. A little late getting forward. Couldn't come up with the first volley. Always nice to be established at the kitchen on that first ball.
Point 4.
And it's important to note, especially in mixed doubles, that this MLP format, the players stay on their side. There is no stacking or switching.
You can switch, though, at timeouts or an end change. Choose.
But it does make it more difficult to play that shake and bake, drive and poach strategy, because you're not having to switch sides and you have less court to cover to get forward.
Point 5.
Gabe Tardio.
Yeah, too much pressure from Gabe. Great use of his reach and his wingspan. Pretty good digs from Castillo, who has really improved her drop and mid-court play these last few months.
More pressure from Brooke Buckner.
Yeah, she's got some really nice shots, lots of power on her paddle. So when she gets an opportunity to start the fire, it usually goes in her favor. Emmerich whipping through with that lefty forehand, got a lot of pace from a relatively low position, handcuffing Gabe Tardio. I mean, that's a bird alert. I mean, absolutely bird alert there from Gabe Tardio stepping over, and Martin Emmerich with a pretty good attempt on the behind the back.
96.
That's a tough bounce for Brooke Buckner.
Yeah, still really nice focus from Castillo. It's very easy to miss those shots that clip the tape and sit up. Nice focus from her. Nice eye from Gabe Tardio. Never really considered hitting that ball.
10-7.
Martin Emmerich. That's the professional tennis background shining through.
Yeah, pretty easy power from him after a great Ernie setup from his partner, Judith Castillo.
8-10.
Nice play from Brooke Buckner, the team first to 11. The LA Mad Drops, we will have an end change.
I like the balance of the tattoos from Emmerich. So he has the upper left arm and the lower right leg tattoo. I really like that kind of angle, you know, know, he didn't go all left or all right. He balanced it out, and I think it's a good look for him.
There's so many other ways I thought that sentence was going to end. I like the balance too.
Yeah.
How about that? Atlanta fans in the house, Major League Pickleball, supporting their teams. If you've never been to a pickleball event, this is a good place to start. Nothing else like it. Meanwhile, the Shock trailing by 3 points. And the A team for the LA Mad Drops, they need to win this game to have a chance in the match. And so far, so good on the side of Brooke Buckner and Gabe Tardio.
Yeah, we'll see if possibly the St. Louis Shock can go behind Gabe Tardio a little bit. He's just so long and so imposing at the kitchen line. When you try to force the ball to his partner, sometimes that really plays into his skill set. So maybe possibly keep him out of the middle, find a couple spots to go behind him, and then figure it out from there. But, you know, this is their A team, so this 3-point lead at the break, you know, is a little bit of what we were expecting.
Oh, nice hustle from Castillo. Gabe Tardio finishes the point.
Yeah, Martin was coming over to help her. He forgot that she's an elite singles player, and she was going to be there for sure.
Yeah, she is. Castillo made a lot of progress in her doubles game as well. ATP hit with precision on the backhand of Castillo.
Yeah, you don't see the ATP off of the off of the drop very often. It's almost always off of a dink. Nice recognition from Castillo and execution. I mean, you can just see when Buckner hits it well, it's a very, very good ball. Judith Castillo could not catch up to that with the counterattack and sails it wide. Yeah, I think it was a slight mishit from Gabe Tardio on that third shot drive. And unfortunately, Martin yelled no right in the swing of Judith Castillo. Could have thrown her off.
And a missed return means a 6-point lead on the side of the Mad Drops in a must-win situation. Down 2 games to the Shock. Castillo and Emmerich looking to find their rhythm. As a mixed doubles partnership, what advice would you give to their side?
Yeah, it's a tough spot right now because as I mentioned, Gabe Tardio really squeezing the middle and Brooke Buckner playing consistent with dinks, but also picking her spots when to be offensive. So I think possibly Martin getting more involved. We really haven't seen too much from him. We've seen a couple nice combinations and 1 or 2 speed ups from him. Let's see if he can find a way to get that big lefty paw in the middle and create some chaos for his opponents.
So thrilled to be back here in Season 2. MLP Atlanta kicking off another great season, 3 events, and another super final to conclude Season 2 back in December.
Yeah, the Shock having a nice powwow on the sidelines. Lots of talking from everyone and some really positive energy coming from their camp. Let's see if they can carry that over to the court.
Oh. Hooked him.
Yeah, we'll just label that a poor decision from the kid.
Can't win them all.
Yeah, you certainly can't.
Especially not on that lefty of Martin Emmerich. Buckner wanted the cross-court roll and a little comeback here for the St. Louis Shock.
Yeah, she went for that high risk, high reward shot, couldn't come up with it.
11-15.
Hey, big lefty paw. I talked about it. There you go, Martin.
Ask and you shall receive.
You can see when he hits it, like I was talking about with Buckner, it's special power.
Brooke Buckner lights up Emmerich.
That's right. So she kept her opponent's back and then lights him up cross court. That is not easy to do. He had a couple extra feet and half a second extra to react to that shot. Just too good from Buckner. I believe that Castillo actually hit Emmerich's hand with her paddle. He is looking down at his finger. I hope that's no worries. Looks like he's fine.
Wide for Castillo.
That's tough. Good athleticism from Emmerich in the heart of that point. Castillo couldn't come up with the last drop attempt.
Point. $19-12. Point.
That's tough. Yeah, I mean, just they're sneaking back in. They're inching their way back in. They play a couple good points and then two return errors just squashing the momentum.
Martin Emmerich.
He's all the way over in the gray and Ernie position, and he gets back over to his partner's side to finish with the forehand. Great movement from Martin.
Mad drops are on 20 that they need to sign out to finish game 3. What hustle from Emmerich and a poetic finish for Brooke Buckner. Just camped out on the Ernie.
You're exactly right, camped out. She read the pattern. She knew Gabe Tardio was going to be lurking in the middle, so she just hung out over on the side. She got exactly what she wanted.
Game point for the LA Mad Drops. Long for St. Louis, and it's a 2-1 series. The LA Mad Drops right back in it. What did you like the most about Tardio and Brooke Buckner's performance?
They just really stuck with it. I don't think that they really adjusted their game plan much. Brooke Buckner was a rock with some well-timed aggression, and Gabe Tardio did his thing, lurking in the middle, so hard to keep the ball away from him when he's outstretched and using his length properly.
LA Mad Drops right back in it. And so it will depend on their second mixed doubles team to even out the series against the Shock. Bad news for them. They match up against the #1 overall pick, Rob Nunnery. But for now, let's check in with Cameron Blackwood, standing by with Tardio and Brooke Buckner.
Get a point in this, 1-2 now for the Mad Drops. How crucial was it to have someone like Gabe on your side that was able to create so much, but then just saw the end, Ernie right there, doing your part as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously I have a lot of confidence playing with Gabe because he's so solid and aggressive, so I trust him completely, and I try to do my small role and set him up.
Mad Drops, like we said, needed this. You guys opted to put this team out first. How confident were you that you guys would get the win?
Yeah, so yeah, we were really confident. I think they put the weaker team first, but it doesn't matter because Jordan and Olivia has been playing great, so we're confident this is going to go to a dream breaker.
There you have it. We have the Mad Drops hoping to take this to a dream breaker. We're going to come right back with our next mixed doubles right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Thanks.
Jake from State Farm, I really need to know.
Go spicy or go home, right?
What? No. What if I'm not sure I have the right coverage for my car?
Oh, your agent can help me make sure it's just what you need.
What if I accidentally hit a food truck and it gets covered in empanadas?
You can file a claim on the app. At State Farm, we're there for your what-ifs.
Thanks.
Oh.
That is too spicy. That's for you.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob ULTRA, superior light beer.
Match point, it's all up to me. Nothing can get in my way. And when they ask, what are you gonna do next? I'll say, I'm going.
We're going to Margaritaville!
You can go to Margaritaville too. Visit MargaritavilleResorts.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Game 4 is about to start. We're going to have for the Mad Drops, Jordan Kinney,
I was here early enough, it didn't matter.
All right, guys. Crucial matchup in the second mixed doubles. Are we going to have another dream breaker, or can the St. Louis Shock seal it in regulation time? They have their one mixed doubles team out there with Jeannie Irakina and Rob Nunnery, and Jeannie is not necessarily that very consistent rock mixed doubles partner. She's more known for her offense and kind of creating the fire, so I'm really interested to see what kind of strategy she comes up with, if she pulls some triggers or she kind of falls into that dink setup role.
Irakina will serve first.
And I'll tell you what, the first couple times you see that Rob Nunnery flipper, it often works. Jordan Kinney says no.
This is Jordan Kinney's time to shine. I can hear you guys in the truck. Is there any way to turn it down? Or I don't know what's going on. Maybe my mic is in.
Come on, Rob. 1-1.
Patient point.
Yeah, really nice grind from the drops.
2-1.
Just wide for Nunnery, and a 3-1 lead for the Mad Drops.
Yeah, Nunnery, he's going to like that combination and that pattern with Olivia McMillan in front of him, but 1-0 Olivia early. Nice job from the drops, forcing Irakina to bend lower than she wanted to.
4-1.
Nice spot from Rob Nunnery right up the middle. Really good at rolling from the forehand and the backhand side.
2-4.
It's a big finish for Jordan Kinney and a big body in the middle.
Yeah, that's right. Look for those fellas to protect their female partners who are transitioning forward after returns.
Nunnery pulls the trigger first. Olivia McMillan got a hold of it.
Yeah, that's right, and she's doing a nice job of loading up on the forehand and having a bigger partner who can cover more court at the line gives her the freedom to do so. The old bite the fist after that. So Kinney was on that counter attack. He can't believe he sailed it 2 feet long. It was an awkward bounce because, you know, if it hits that pole underneath the net, it's a redo. But I believe it caught the net, not the pole.
Olivia McMillan steps in to fend off the pace of Irakina in an 8-3 scoreline. Appears like a dream breaker is very much possible from here. Still early.
Nice roll dink from Jeannie Irakina. She's tried that a few times early in this match, and McMillan was able to neutralize, but not that time.
Just back for McMillan. And one thing we haven't talked about, the lefty situation on the side of the Mad Drops. McMillan going straight up on Rob Nunnery. Would love to know your thoughts after this on how that changes the complexity of this one.
Well, even so, in mixed, even the right-hander is going to be on the right, but it's the spots that Rob is going to attack with the left-hander in front of him is the big difference. A little ambitious there from Kinney from a low ball. I like him lurking in the middle. I like his court positioning. Probably needs to go soft with that ball from that low spot.
Big put away touch from Jordan Kinney.
Yeah, really nice job going with the angle as Rob had the back of the court pretty covered. He needed that angle and he got it.
Ooh.
The big guys always have good hands. It never fails. I tell you what, he's really countered attacked well. He was in big trouble in the heart of that point and dug out of it. Nice job, Kinney. That was slippery, and what I mean by slippery is very deceptive. He did not just rip that ball at full pace and full spin. He was able to confuse his opponent And when you do that, you often win the point like the Mad Drops did there. And this is a bit of a shock with a 4-point lead at the end change from the Mad Drops as St. Louis Shock have their one team up there.
An 11-7 lead will result in an end change. The LA Mad Drops coming back from a 2-game deficit on the St. Louis Shock. What is it about the mixed doubles game that seems to be suiting the gentlemen better here in this matchup?
Yeah, for me in this matchup, it's tough for Irakina because she has Kenny in front of her. She's not known to be a player that grinds dinks. And then if she wants to attack cross-court to Olivia McMillan, Olivia's been doing such a good job being there with the forehand. So it kind of freezes Irakina and forces her to just play soft shots, which is not her strength.
11-7.
Really nice stab from Irakina from an awkward ball. I'm not even sure who hit that one on the side of the St. Louis Shock as they clank paddles in the middle.
Oh, Kenny wanted it.
Yeah, a couple times now, stepped over. That ball was a little bit higher, so I'm more okay with that one than the previous ball. Still needs to be aggressive in the middle, just try to keep that shot selection crisp.
That's a beautiful shot from Rob Nunnery.
Yeah, that's a little bit of sexy time there from Rob Nunnery as he caught his opponent loading up with the forehand. And he puts it on the back shoulder. Well done. And I mean, it wasn't the best drop, but a nice inside-out backhand from Kenny from the middle of the court. Not an easy shot to pull off.
Oh, ATP well defended by Rob Nunnery.
Yeah, really good job. And then a couple shots later in the midcourt, letting that ball go long. Really nice grind from Irakina. Looking for those roll dinks out wide, but still yet to pull too many triggers. Nice kind of flail there from Irakina. She was in a very defensive position, but she was able to put that counter back to an awkward spot for Kenny.
Oh boy, good defense by Irakina.
It certainly was.
Missed it, but
dang, let tape ruin some of these good points.
Harder to put that wiffle ball away than it looks.
13-12.
Oh, and a miss serve makes it a tie game.
Yeah, all Kenny can do is chuckle at that one. We've all been there before. And I believe that is dink error #1 from Kenny, who had some issues with that in men's doubles. So he's cleaned it up nicely, but a tough spot to have your first. A nice step over from Kenny, and Olivia McMillan getting her partner fired up.
14-14.
for Nunnery, and LA takes back a 1-point lead.
50-14.
Trying to call Irakina off. She hits it, but Shock able to come up with the point a few shots later. All knotted up at 15.
50-15.
Deep for Kinney. Crucial moment of the match. Prompt timeout called on their side, and the St. Louis Shock take back a 1-point lead, and they now only need 5 to close the match on their terms.
That's right. It's been a slow creep, too. Not any just boom 4 points or 5 points to get back in it from the Shock. They've just been slowly working their way in. A couple nice offensive sequences for them, and also a couple nice gifts from their opponents. And when you have both of those working in your favor, you often erase that deficit.
What's the issue lately for Kinney and McMillan, if any?
I think it's more St. Louis not forcing a few shots and letting the drops use their counterattack ability. I think that's been the main thing to get them back into it. I think that they were playing into the drops game a little bit early on, and they've done a better job adjusting and forcing the drops to create something instead of reacting and counterattacking.
Time in. 16-15.
Dominant performance from Jordan Kinney.
Yeah, he does a nice job of having the backhand punch, but when it goes to the right side of his body, he switches over to the forehand very quickly.
Kinney gets a kiss off the tape and a 1-point lead.
Yeah, hell of a combination there. I thought he was a little bit in trouble, but he crashes back to the middle with the nice forehand.
17-16.
He's looking for the same combination. This time Rob Nunnery there in the middle with the forehand.
17-17.
Jordan Kinney finds a way to win the point.
And McMillan going for the Ernie. That's a lot of court for Kinney to cover, but he is there, sensing that Rob is going to try to play that ball straight ahead to Olivia.
Oh, Rob Nunnery squaring off with McMillan.
Yeah, I don't hate it from Olivia. That's just nice hands from Rob.
18-18.
Nice. Rob, he knew as soon as he hit his drop, he liked it. He didn't wait to see anything. He just comes forward, crashing in,
19-18.
putting maximum pressure.
Jordan Kinney ties it right back up.
Wait, we got Irakina calling that out.
Ooh.
court was out.
Oh God. Oh my. That was. I think that. I mean, I just want to double check the replay and make sure I saw what I saw.
We go. Call on the court was out. St. Louis is sorry.
That, I think that was as in as it gets, but let's have another look.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, confirm
Check
that
your
I saw
eyes,
that
Adam.
I saw what I saw. Oh yeah.
Oh
there
yeah.
we go.
That's
I
not
would
even
say,
close.
I'm gonna say 10 inches. 10 inches in. In her defense, he did hit it very hard.
It was fast.
He did hit it very hard, and we'll just leave it at that.
As Adam mentioned, you get 3 free challenges per match. And then after that, it's on you to make the right call with the challenge. And points are on the line. This should be a quick overturn.
I would think so. And I have to say, Olivia McMillan, a slightly rocky start to women's with a couple soft airs. She has really tightened it up. In the second half of women's in this mixed match, she is really playing some solid defense and consistent with especially the dinking.
The Mad Drops looking to force a dream breaker. St. Louis, they pull this one out. They take the match.
Oh my God, Simone Jargin with the dance moves over. Oh my God, she's going with the robot. Oh my.
Look to the corner there, we have Simone Jargin right there doing a beautiful robot.
Thank you, Tropical, for backing me up there.
Right there. So good.
So good.
The goats of the game has dance moves too. What can't she do? As for this match, what do these final points come down to?
It's all about execution, and we touched on that earlier. Lots of time for strategic play and tweaking patterns and situations. This is not one of them. Who is going to play cleaner? Who is going to play big in the big moments? It's all execution when we get to 19-19, even though that might, well, that will be the score.
Yes.
That will be the score, 19-19, okay.
Although, no. Because right now they gave the point to St. Louis for calling it out.
Okay, gotcha. All right, okay. I knew something didn't feel right there.
If it's overturned, then the score becomes 20-18, which is a big swing.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think every single player is ready. Look of absolute ferocity on their face. Olivia chilling like McMillan, not ready.
And maybe a slightly more extended break than we were thinking here. We thought this might be a quick one, but referees just making sure all the paperwork and all the score and everything is lined up. But I will say, as a player, sometimes in these big spots, you don't just play another point. When you have a break in the action, it makes you think about it a little bit. It gets in your mind. Maybe that can make you think more than you want to think. Thinking a little bit is good. Thinking too much is bad. And we have Rafa Hewitt here in the booth, and he never thinks too much. There you go.
All right. Well, assuming the serve goes back on the side of the Mad Drops, where's the third going?
The third going. So we will have the Mad Drops serving. I would look to return. I would look to return to Kinney. Return to Kinney, and I would expect Kinney to drop. But I think McMillan's been pretty locked in with those thirds, so I would let Kinney take a crack at it.
Call is overturned.
As pretty much everyone in the stands here, it would be 20-18 is the score line now. 20-18 and game point for the Mad Drops.
Oh, we have another powwow here.
So we have a 19-19 place.
Got a nice smile on Kinney's face. He's just chatting with his boys back here in the back. He seems pretty loose. I like to see that.
Oh, score is 19-18.
Okay,
Corrected.
all right.
And scoreboard in-house is also Kinney. Take back the serve, not game point quite yet. Big point for the Shock.
18. No, you lost that point.
All right, we got a referee timeout. I was trying to be quiet to see if we could hear exactly what was the discussion on court. We're trying to get the backup scorecard to make sure we have everything lined up with the score.
What a way to end it. So you now have almost a 5-minute break for the last final points.
I mean, they're warming up. I mean, I don't blame them. I'd be warming up too. So, I mean, you have to get it right, and that's what we're doing. So that's the most important thing. But
stay warm, because we are coming back. Try to take this thing to a dream breaker.
yeah, I pulled the headset off for a second as I see if I could hear in real time what we're discussing. But it seems like we have a lot of head nodding from the referees. Seems like we got it figured out here.
It was confusing because they kept that one frozen at 19-19. But it was such a late call that
I'm just not even sure what the initial score was. You don't know what the initial score was, it's hard to figure out what it actually is. So here we go. He's explaining it to the captains right now.
What an interesting series of events.
Really? It's always something.
What's the player outlook at this moment in the game? Both sides, lots of time to think over what you're going to do.
And I mentioned that sometimes thinking too much is an issue, but these guys are professionals. I think once they get back into their spots, they'll lock in mentally and, you know, bring their A game, even though we have an extended break here.
5.5 minutes waiting. I mean, it's like, okay, have fun.
That's just part of the deal. As the game gets bigger, we got some TV timeouts and some situations mixed in. It's all part of it. So you have to stay professional and you have to stay locked into your game, even if it is a couple-minute break.
All right, final score verdict, 19-all. Pressure point, Jordan Kinney takes it and game point along with it.
Wow, Kenny, what a counter attack from Rob Nunnery too, but Kenny on the next ball, what a combo.
20-19.
Ooh, and the St. Louis Shock stay alive.
Oh, man.
20-all.
Jeannie, man, she has been rolling those dinks.
We've seen how this momentum can shift at this scoreline. Oh, that's a tough miss on the counter.
What an adjustment from the big man. My goodness, how did he get a paddle on that ball?
21-20.
Another game point for LA. Looking for a dream breaker here. Irakina stays alive, ties it back up.
Yeah, and I'm okay with the decision from Olivia. I just think she hesitated. She saw a ball and she was in that Ernie position, so it's tough to get back to the middle for the offense, but I think it was there. They just couldn't get that fifth over. Nice spot from the drops.
Another game point for LA. Rob Nunnery ties it back up at 22.
Yeah, nice job from the Shock. Reasonable first ball from Kenny, stepping to his right to be offensive with the forehand in the middle. Way to weather it.
Jordan Kinney has stood tall in the pressure-filled moments.
Look at that lateral quickness, getting over to the middle and putting a quality ball. Great spin, not much net clearance either. That's a high-risk shot.
Oh, goes long there.
Oh, she did a great job of getting the ponytail out of the way. She ducked the head. It was out of the way. I was worried about the ponytail.
An athletic dodge, as some would say.
23-23.
What pressure from Jordan Kinney.
The hands are there. It's especially from the chest. He is really tough to attack.
24-23.
Every dink matters, and Jordan Kinney will finish it down the middle. So guess what? Another dream breaker here on championship court.
I'm not going to lie, I was a little worried about Kenny after that first 5 minutes of men's, but he has stepped up his game big time, and I believe he was the reason why the Mad Drop sealed the deal in the second mixed.
Second match of the day, second dream breaker of the day. The Hype Squad is in full effect here in Atlanta. Season 2 kicking off in dramatic fashion. And what a performance from Olivia McMillan.
And we have a pretty big discrepancy in the dream breaker. And I think the St. Louis Shock are big favorites on paper. Let's see what happens.
All right, let's check in now with Cameron Blackwood standing by with Olivia McMillan and Jordan Kinney.
Thanks, Mish. Before you guys started, Gabe said he had all the confidence that you guys were going to take it into a dream breaker. Jordan, you came out a completely different player from men's doubles to mixed doubles. What did you tell yourself before stepping out?
Just kind of settle in. Came out a little, scared a little bit and just not really wanting to attack, didn't play free. So just tried to free up a little bit, move around, and get comfortable.
And Olivia, you're known to thrive in your defensive moments, but today has been all about your offense. When are you looking to pick your spots and your speed ups?
Yeah, I think it's different between women's and mixed, but with mixed, I just kind of told Jordan, I'm going to be steady, you be big, and you just swing. We're out here to win, and that's what we did.
Mad Drop's taking it to a dream breaker. Shell, back to you.
Okay.
Innovation is our specialty. Winning is his. Zane Navratil has won more than 40 Pro Gold medals and back-to-back Major League Pickleball titles. One of pickleball's most iconic and decorated athletes teamed up with our world-class engineers with one goal in mind: build a paddle that can dominate. The Zane Navratil Signature Paddle, designed for champions by champions. Available now. ProXR Pickleball. Innovation you can handle.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball.
Bulletproof Bandito. Gabe Tardio going one-on-one with Rob Nunnery. 4 points. Next, we got Jordan Kinney playing Martin Emmerich.
Welcome back to Championship Court. This Dream Breaker is powered by Toyota Prius, the second Dream Breaker we've seen today. Here's the matchup and the rotation. Each singles player will match for 4 points and then rotate, and essentially it's comparing it to a batting order. So you put your best out first, right, on both sides. And so the St. Louis Shock won the toss. They chose to react when it came to mixed doubles, which means now the LA Mad Drops, the tables turn. They get to select the matchup of who they want for each player. So the Shock put out Rob Nunnery, Martin Emmerich, Judith Castillo, and Jeannie Iroquina, to which the LA Mad Drops countered with Gabe Tardio, Jordan Kinney, Brooke Buckner, and Olivia McMillan. So out to start will be Gabe Tardio against Rob Nunnery.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty close to a push, in my opinion. Now, Rob has had some injury. He has not been playing a lot of singles on the regular tour, and Tardio does. But I think 4 points at a time, Rob can play at a very high level. And, of course, the wild card for me is the 8-month pregnant lady playing singles. Brooke Buckner is an incredible singles player. How will she move out there for this Dream Breaker? We will see.
0-0.
Rob Nunnery will start us off to Gabe Tardio. Oh, Gabe Tardio extends and finds the angle.
I was about to say, are we playing doubles or singles here? That was like 10 drops in a row from Rob.
Yeah.
Ended up getting a pretty good look coming forward, but the wingspan of Tardio, too much.
1-0.
Nice drop opportunity from Gabe Tardio, tied up.
Yeah, real nice return from Rob, forcing Gabe into a very tough shot.
1-1.
Tough break, Rob frustrated. Never got he hasn't had a lot of looks to rip that forehand. That's his favorite single shot. Just hasn't had a lot of opportunities in these first 3 points.
Wow. What a play, or a few plays from Gabe Tardio.
El Bandito doing his thing out there. Just so tough on the singles court. Not a lot of weaknesses. Two-handed backhand and a great forehand.
A 3-1 finish for Gabe Tardio.
I have not seen Jordan Kinney play singles, so I cannot give too much there. So we'll just have to see. A little late getting over to the forehand on point 1.
4-1.
Oh, he missed? I guess it was a miss. That's my fault. I thought that
Here we go, Jordan. Here we
Kinney
go.
was
Right
late
back.
getting there, but
Right
Martin
back.
Emmerich missed that first shot, but ball back over to Martin.
2-4. Point.
Missed return from Jordan Kinney. Another point
Come on, Jordan.
from Martin Emmerich.
This point. Here we go.
3-4.
Jordan Kinney just rolls one in on the angle.
Yeah, really nice job on the forehand side. Really athletic player in Martin Emmerich, unable to get it on one bounce.
Let's go, Brooke.
5-3.
She had about as good of a look as she can have on that one-handed backhand tough break for Buckner.
Foot fault for Brooke Buckner.
Really good stretch on the first one, Michelle. Just couldn't come up with the last.
Judith Castillo, such a prolific
Here we go, Brooke.
singles player.
5-5.
A lot of medals to her name this season.
Point.
Yeah, I like the decision of Buckner to
Right
be
here,
mostly
Brooke. Hey,
looking
here we
to
go.
come in. I know it's tough up there at the kitchen line to cover everything. It's going to be tough for her to grind ground strokes with Judith Castillo.
And a clean sweep for Judith Castillo. 4 points and a 2-point lead for her team.
7-5.
Olivia McMillan and Jeannie Irokina will come out for their 4-point sequence,
7-5.
rounding out the batting order.
Point.
Yeah, McMillan taking a look at the court. That serve not coming up into her strike zone like she was expecting.
8-5.
Oh, just back for McMillan.
Point.
2 points for Irokina. 2 more to go.
Hey, Olivia.
9-5.
Here we go, Olivia.
McMillan testing the corners.
That was a nice job from McMillan, approaching to the middle to make sure that she could get a good look at a first volley, and then moving Irokina with the next 2 shots.
Down the line winner for Jeannie Irokina. A 3-1 finish in that rotation. Top of the order comes out. Gabe Tardio and Rob Nunnery meet again. Gabe came away with 3 points last time.
10-6.
So mobile.
Yeah, it's just so tough to have both. A lot of players have good footwork. A lot of players have nice length and reach. And a handful of these guys and gals out here that have both. It's such a luxury. Tipping forehand from Tardio, forcing Rob Nunnery into a tougher first volley than he was hoping for.
Oh, what a get from Rob Nunnery.
Tardio went for his trick shot there where he fakes the backhand slice and then goes with the forehand topspin, but he was in a bad spot there, couldn't do it.
The Dream Breaker, powered by Toyota Prius. We have some special.
St. Louis Shock, the first team to 11. The LA Mad Drops will look to stay alive. How is this shaking out per your expectations so far?
Yeah, I think that it's about on point so far. And let's see if we can't get a nice Nunnery serve forehand combination to possibly put his team up 4.
Time in. 11-8.
Oh, Nunnery on the run.
And he got the serve in the forehand, but it was a pretty good return from Tardio to force Rob all the way over into his backhand corner.
Another 3-1 finish for Gabe Tardio. Jordan Kinney and Martin Emmerich join the singles party.
Ball is out. It was before he played it.
Oh, and the
Side
referee
out,
saying
point, 12.
called it before you played the next ball.
12-9.
I like that from Emmerich to go, instead of driving the third shot, he rolls it and then comes forward aggressively. I like the decision from him.
Clean winner, cross court. Martin Emmerich takes 3.
Yeah, great two-handed backhand. So the forehand roll drop and then the backhand drive, showing a little bit of everything in these first 2 points from Martin.
Just wide, and another 3-1 finish for Martin Emmerich. Brooke Buckner and Judith Castillo returned to the lineup. Brooke Buckner did not get a point on Judith Castillo. Their first round, former University of Michigan, highly touted player in tennis. And that unforced error seemed to be the issue for her in singles.
Yeah, tough situation, and she doesn't need to win this. Just a split would be phenomenal, and let her buddies over on the sideline pick up the slack afterwards.
Oh, what a clean winner for Judith Castillo.
Yeah, Buckner she's really set up some nice points, just hasn't been able to get that finishing shot.
Castillo, so mobile, former soccer player growing up. Has some wheels to her singles game. There's one for Brooke Buckner. Maybe that's all she needs.
Yeah, Judith unable to get her arms extended there. Nice job by Buckner, forcing her to be jammed up.
What a shot for Brooke Buckner. You said she needed a split. That's exactly what she got, 2 points each.
Yeah, and that was nice too, to get that finishing ball after I had mentioned the nice setups from her. Nice to finish one.
Oh, just barely missed.
Yeah, a couple awkward swings there from the ladies at the full stretch. No one able to strike it in their strike zone.
Let's go!
Strike it in your strike zone. Okay, all right.
18-12.
Clean winner for McMillan down the line. She'll take one.
Yeah, great inside out from Olivia McMillan as Jeannie Irakina was moving towards the middle of the court.
This point will be big for McMillan to get. And she will. Now a 3-point game, and Gabe Tardio returns to the mix for the Mad Drops.
Here we go.
Rob Nunnery back on stage. Gabe Tardio has a 3-1-3-1 record in the first 2 rounds. Just wide on the roll.
That was a nice pickup on that initial drop by Rob.
19-14.
No, almost got it.
Yeah, I was shocked that he's even able to get there and put such a good strike on the ball, but either way, phenomenal first volley from Gabe Tardio.
Oh, Gabe Tardio wanted it. Rob Nunnery found a way to flip the script with match point on his paddle.
20-15.
And the St. Louis Shock find a way to steal the match in a dream breaker fashion. What'd you like?
Well, I'm just glad that my prediction didn't fall flat on its face like it did earlier. Congratulations to the Shock. Really nice job, especially there with Rob after going a 2-6 in those first matchups to seal the deal in the 3rd round through versus Tardio.
The Chaffetz family, a happy family on the sidelines supporting their team that they own. The St. Louis Shock win match number 1 against the LA Mad Drops. What a dramatic series of events we've seen so far. Bonus pickleball in every match.
That's right, the team celebrating. We see Cameron Blackwood trying to corral the winners, even though it's very difficult.
We're going to have a lot of fun in hot Atlanta.
We're only getting started here in Atlanta. Season 2 kicking off in incredible fashion. The St. Louis Shock, they had to go the distance after stealing a 2-0 lead, dropping both mixed doubles games, and then they win in a dream breaker when it was all on the line. Let's see how they did it. Cameron Blackwood is with the winners.
Thanks, Michelle. Yes, Rob, most experience here on this team, going up against Gabe Tardio, the best singles player on their end. What did you tell your team before the dream breaker?
I mean, we obviously came out a little disappointed from not closing it out in mix. So we're a confident singles team. Martin doesn't play a lot of singles. I don't play a lot of singles. Obviously, Judith's a rock over there and really cleaned up. And Jeannie is going to fight to every last ball. And yeah, we just worked hard and got through it.
And how much does it show how much fight the Shock has? You already had the 2-0 lead. They come back in, but you were able to close it out here in the Dream Breaker.
Mentally tough, but the team stuck together. We were fighting, and I mean, it just got pretty much to the last point. I feel the team effort, the team. What? I don't know that word. The team chemistry. It was just awesome. So I think we're gonna rock it now.
There you go. The Shock took this one in the Dream Breaker. We're gonna come right back with more Major League Pickleball. Don't go anywhere.